Okay, so in this lesson we are going to order positive and negative fractions and mixed numbers again, and involving baseline denominator. So basically what we're going to do is, I know that first time you did it probably took a fair amount of time. So we're going to do another lesson on it to make it even, to make it stick more. So we have, let's just go ahead. We know that 1/2 is 0.5. Some of you preferred 0 and 50 hundredths, right? So 0 and 5/10, 0 and 50 hundredths. We know that 1/3 was 0.333, right? Forever. We know that 1/4 was 25 hundredths. We know that 1/5 was 0 and 2/10. Some of you will prefer 0 and 20 hundredths. Because you can count by 20s, 20, 40, 60, 80. And we'll get down to the bottom ones later. So, well, I guess we could do that now. I think we have enough space. Yes. Okay. 1/8 was 0.125, and 1/10 was 0.1, or 0.10 if you prefer. Doesn't matter. All right, so we are going to do this a little faster this time. So we're just going to multiply, which is repeated addition, because last time we added a lot, which is just multiplication. So we're just going to multiply this time. So the ones that are going to be super easy are these holes are like where they divide easily. So 2/2 we know is a whole. Like for the thirds, 3/3 we know is a whole. For the fourths we know that, oh, they don't have any here. I think I just skipped over it, right? So 1/5. Oh, I skipped over that one. 1/8. So the point is that like those are the easy ones. I didn't write them here because I wanted to get practice with more difficult fractions. So 3/2. So 3 times 0.5 if you prefer. So 0.5, 1, 1.5. Oh, 4/2. That's easy too. So we just get 2 wholes because we get 0.5, like so on and so forth. And then 5/2. So 5 times 5 is 25, so 2.5. 7/2. So 7 times 5 is 35. It's not 35 though, because you got to have that decimal. 3.5. You can always count up if you need to. I'm just getting you to practice a little bit more. I like the thirds. They're so predictable. So this would be 0.66 repeating. Remember that bar means it keeps repeating. 6. 4/3. So that's just one more than that one. So it's 1 and 3 forever. So, and then we have 5/3. So that, if I went to 6, it would be 2. So I go down 1, and it's 1.66 repeating. You could also just go up 1. And then, okay. So what I like to do is, how many times can 3 go into 10? 3 times. So there's 3 holes. How much is left over? 1. So 0.3333. If you didn't get that, then you can just count up. Yeah, you can just count up if you want, or you can multiply 3. You can multiply 10 times this. Yeah. So 2/4 would be, so if 1/4 is 0.25, 2 of them would be 0.50. And then, let me write that a little nicer. And then we just keep counting, 0.75. Oh, we skipped over the whole, because that would be 4. And then we have 1.25. And then we add another one, 1.50. Ooh, 11. So I can get 2 wholes out of this, because that would be 8. There'd be 3 left over. So 3 of these, which is 0.75. So I'm going to go back and do all these ones. I'm going to review all these ones before I finish the section. So 0.20, 0.40, so 0.4. And then 0.20 again, you get 0.60, which is 0.6. And then you add it again, 0.80, which is 0.8. You can put the zeros if you prefer. It doesn't matter to me. We know that 5 of these is a whole, because 5/5 is a whole. And then we have 1 left over, 1 of these, so 1.2 or 1.20. Okay, now, let's another one of these. How many holes can you make? how many holes can you make? So 5, 10, 15. You can make 3 holes. How much is left over though? There's 2/5 left over, which would be 0.40. So 1/8 is 0.125. So I don't even like to think about it as the decimal because that'll just add some confusion. Like I put that in at the end. So 125 and 125 would give you 250. 250, but I would need to put that decimal there. So plus another 125 would be 375. Remember, we haven't reached a whole because it's not 8/8 yet. Oh, and we skipped over and added another one, added 2 more. So 0.25 would be 375 plus 125 is 500. But then we will have another one. So 500 plus 0.125 would be 625. Oof. And then we add another 1.25. I keep saying that. We add another 125. 125. So 125. 125. And then we did 125, 125 again. And 125 is 750. Oh man, okay. So how many holes can you make here? I can make 1 hole. How many are left over? 3. So I can just look here, 0.375. So this is 1.375. And okay, thank goodness these aren't too bad. 2 tenths, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, 5 tenths. Oh man, okay. How many holes can we make out of here? We can go 10, 20, 40. We'll go 10, 20, 30, 40. I forgot that. So there's 4 holes. How many are left over? 7. So we get 4 and 7 tenths. 4 and 70 hundredths. 4.7. 4.70. Let's go back to these original ones to clarify the strategy for these large ones. How many holes can you make out of this? So you go 2, 4, 6. You can make 3. So I put 3 down. How many are left over? 1, which is 0.5. Let's try it again. So how many holes can I make from this? How many times does 3 go into 10? 3 goes into 10 3 times. How many are left over? 1. And then that's 0.33, so we just put there. So how many times does 4 go into 11? How many holes can we make? 2. How much is left over? So 4, we can make 2, we get to 8. And then there are 3 left over, which is 0.75. So 2 holes and 75 hundredths. Okay, let's go to the next section. Remember, we're doing this better from memory now. So this one stays the same. And 1/8 is 0.125. And then we get 0.250 and then 0.375. I'm just showing this here, so I'm not just talking to the screen. But if you can do this in here, that's the whole point. So this is 6.375. Remember that I wrote this out because this is 1/8 right here. So 2/8, 3/8. And then 6.2, I need to put some here. This one, 375 is larger. So 1/3 is 0.33 repeating. This is, then it's 0.66 repeating, and then it's a whole. Oh, I went too far. I don't even need that whole. So 2/3 would be 0.66. So this is 5.66 repeating, and this is just 5.66. So remember that this would continue. This would not continue. It would just be zeros. So this one's larger. 5 2/3 is larger. Okay, so eighths. I keep putting eighths because I know that people don't like eighths. So 1/8 is 0.125. See, there I go again. 0.250 would be 2/8. 0.375 would be 3/8. So negative 0.33 compared to negative 0.375. So I'm going to put a 0 here. 330, 375. This is the larger negative. This is bigger and it's negative, which means it's less. Okay. So, got to do all these. Let's try to do all these by memory. So, this is good. So, this is 0.25, 0.50. Let me write that a little nicer. 0.25, 0.50, 0.75. Remember, you're going to do this in your head. I'm just showing you. So I'm not talking to this. So you don't just hear me talking to the screen. This is good. 3/8. So I did this a bunch of times. At this point, I just know it's 0.375. And 7/10, that's easy. So I have all these in decimals. Now I just need to put the zeros in to compare them. So that's 2 decimal places, 2 decimal places, 2 decimal places. There's 3 and there's 1. So I'm going to put some zeros. Okay. So least to greatest. 620, 750, 560, 375. Okay, so this one, I'm going to put this in a different color. Okay, that's our first one. And then looks like 560. And then 620. And then 700. And then 750. 750. Okay, let's do it again. Last one. We're almost there. I know you're not enjoying these. Unless you were really quick at multiplying and you understand these already, it's not fun to do this, the first couple of times. So this is 0.33 because it's thirds, so it's 0.66 repeating. So negative 1.66 repeating. That's good. So how many holes can I make? 1. Because I take 4 out. How much is left over? 1/4, which is 0.25. So negative 1.25. And halves. So how many holes can I make? I need to take out 2 of them, so I get 1 hole. I'm going to take out 2 halves. So I can take like a whole hole. Yeah, I'm going to assume I don't have to explain why I have to take out 1. I can take out a whole. Well, maybe I shouldn't. I took out that. That means there's 1 left over, which is 0.50 or 0.5. So negative 1.5. Let's put some zeros in to compare. So there's 2 decimal places, 2 decimal places, 1 decimal places, 2. Okay, so let's put 2. Oh, that one was good. And remember, the number with the least value is the biggest negative. So I'm looking for the biggest negative here. I'm looking for the biggest negative. This one looks like the biggest negative. Yeah. And then 20, 50, 25, 50. Oh, these are the same. If you ever end up in a situation like this, just put this. That's why I put this in here. Just put they're both number 2 because they're both the same. And then the next biggest one is this one. The next. Yeah. And then this one is this negative with the smallest negative, so it's the biggest. Okay, thank you.